Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Thursday, only here on YouTube. Want to welcome you to the May 30th, 2024 Vinyl Treasure Show. It's continuing with the All 78 show. I can't stop it. I receive emails from different people every week to continue with the show, so it's really by popular demand that I do this. 45s are much easier, I will tell you that much. I started a little earlier in the process, so I have a lot of records I've been going through, so I'm kind of trying to mix and match and try to give a decent selection of playing a few records from each year. Of course, in 1940s, I don't have a lot of records from that period, but things that sound good to my ear, and I was never really big into the pre-war stuff, but I have it because it was offered it to me at a cheap price, so I took it. And some of the and now come to think of it, you know, the records are now being played over the air, so it's they're getting great use. I've always liked the 78s. I liked looking at that Les Doc's book. I used to go to like the Master's department store as a kid, and I used to thumb through it and like to see the pictures of the labels because I think they're really cool looking, the 78s. But we just opened up today's show with tenor saxophonist from is it Kingston? It should be Kingston, North Carolina, I think. Talmadge Smith. We know him as Tab Smith, signed with Leonard Allen's United label back in 1951. You just heard the B-side to his biggest hit, was called Because of You. That's the other side of the record. But this side was called DJ Special. It's a song he wrote. And it mentions on the label Tab Smith and his Velvet Tenor. That's what it says, of course, saxophone. And that's his first of 24 releases on the United Record label. When United Records folded, I think he's got some on Checker and King that I have on 45s in my collection. And then he retired in the early 1960s, and he would later pass away in August of 71. He was only 62 years old at a young age there. But that one there from September 1951 on United Records, that's Tab Smith with DJ Special. Well, I'm your DJ for today as we spin only 78s. We're going to end in 1956. We're going to begin, though, with an up-tempo song. Before I had the 45, I was thrilled to find this 78. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that the RPM record label had only the Teen Queens on it. I think at the time that was the only group I knew on RPM. But let's open up the vocal portion out of California. It's on the Bahari Brothers RPM record label. The group is called Buddy Milton and the Twilighters. It's their second release on the RPM record label. I just recently picked up their first, which I've never seen. I played it a number of weeks ago. But this is their second. This song, first recorded by the Capris on the Rage label in October 1954. Then it was re-released, I think, a month later as Mel Williams and the Montclairs. I have played those on the program here. But this is a cover from November 54. We open up the vocal portion with Buddy Milton and the Twilighters on the RPM record label and their rendition of the tune, Ooh-Wah.
Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you were meant for me. I'm madly in love with you. Loving you is such a treat. When you kiss, you can't be beat. Tell me that you love me too. I love the way you walk, I love the way you talk, I love the way you hold me tight.
Yeah.
I love the way you tease, I love the way you squeeze, I love the way you kiss goodnight. Baby, you're the one for me. You're as fine as you can be. Never, never let you go. I love the way you hold me tight.
Yeah.
I love the way you squeeze. I love the way you tease. I love the way you kiss goodnight. Baby, you're the one for me. You're as fine as you can be. Never, never let you go. Never, never let you go. Never, never let you go.
There you go. That's Johnny G almost got caught there saying doing the greetings and whatnot. But anyway, I like that record. Always did like. Did Alan Freed play that record? I bet you he did. November 1954, Buddy Milton and the Twilighters there on the RPM record label Ooh-Wah, their rendition of that tune, originally done by the Capris on the Rage record label. We're going to count down the music chronologically here on the 78 show, as we do on the Saturday night show. And I don't think I've ever played a song from 1941. Okay, but this group goes way back. I think I saw on Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file they had releases back in 1935 on the Decca record label. Then in 1939 they had some on the Brunswick label, but they signed with Columbia with lots and lots of releases during the 1940s. They also had releases on the Columbia subsidiary OK record label, and I think that was beginning in 1940 or so. They backed up Maxine Sullivan, I think also Fletcher Henderson. But here's their 12th of 13 on the OK record label, the tune written by Duke Ellington and Paul Webster. It features a Billy Williams on lead. This is an early side, and these early 78s, sometimes the vinyl isn't the greatest. It sounds so much better later on in the mid-1950s, so you're going to hear a little bit of crackle on some of these records. Not all, but some. But let's give a listen to the Charioteers. The Charioteers from December 41. On OK Records, Billy Williams on lead. It's called I Got It Bad, parentheses, and that ain't good.
Never treats me sweet and gentle, always. I got it better, that ain't good. My heart is sentimental, not made of wood. I got it better, that ain't good. Oh, but when the weekend's over and Monday rolls around, I end up like I start out, just crying my heart out. She don't love me like I love her. Nobody could. I got it better, that ain't good. But when the weekend's over and Monday rolls around, I end up like I start out, just crying my heart. She don't love me like I love her, doggone it. Nobody could. I got it better, but ain't good. That's no good. That's no good. That's no good.
Wow, going all the way back there to December of 1941. That's the Charioteers. Billy Williams on lead with the Charioteers on the OK record label. I Got It Bad, parentheses, and that ain't good. I have tons of Charioteers 78s. They're not in the greatest shape. I got to clean them up a little bit, but that's probably the best you're going to hear on a lot of the records I have at this 1941. But again, if you are new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Johnny G. We're here from 1 till about 3:30 or so. I pulled 33 78s to get through. We should do that. We should be able to do that. You want to make a gamble on that, Joe Shakatana. We'll see how quickly. It depends how much I babble. That is the case. But anyway, let us move now from 1941. Let's go to 1942. Got a number of flip sides that you listeners have requested too, by the way. But this is a flip side from last week's 78 show. And this one here from 1942 by the Ink Spots. Last week I featured Street of Dreams, released in October of 42. This is the flip written and first recorded by Duke Ellington and his orchestra back in 1940. As the title was known at that time, Never No Lament. But after songwriter Bob Russell wrote the lyrics in 1942, the Ink Spots recorded it, and it became a big #1 hit for them. It features Deke Watson on lead. Let's go to October 42 for the Ink Spots on the Decca label, and the tune called Don't Get Around Much Anymore. The Ink Spots.
When I'm not playing solitaire, I take a book down from the shelf, and what with programs on the air, I keep pretty much to myself. Mr. Saturday Dance, heard the crowd at the floor, couldn't bear it without you, don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club, got as far as the door, they'd have asked me about you, don't get around much anymore. Oh, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you, don't get around much anymore. My mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you, don't get around much anymore. Don't get around much anymore. Don't get around much anymore.
There you go. That's an early sound there by Deke Watson And the Ink Spots, October 1942, on the Decca record banner, don't get around much anymore. So many groups have recorded that through the one that sticks in my head is the one by the Belmonts, believe it or not, from 1962 or whatever. But there was a release prior to the Ink Spots version by, I think, Kenny Sargent with Glenn Gray and the Casaloma Orchestra. But again, so many artists recorded this tune here, and that is an early side there from 1942. Let's move into 1943 now as we go to St. Louis, Missouri. For this group, this group included Robert O'Neill, first tenor, Raymond Grant Jr., bass and guitarist, Norvell Taborn, baritone, and lead singer John Jordan. A few weeks ago, we heard their fourth of 7 on Bess Berman's Apollo record label, the song called P.S. I Love You from April 47. But here is their second overall release, which came out on the RCA subsidiary Bluebird label. The song is from the 20th Century Fox movie Springtime in the Rockies. So let's go back to February 1943 for the Four Vagabonds, John Jordan and the Four Vagabonds on the Bluebird record label. It's called I Had the Craziest Dream, the Four Vagabonds.
The craziest dream last night, yes I did. I never dreamt it could be, yet there you were in love with me. I found your lips close to mine, so I kissed you. You didn't mind it at all. For when I'm awake, such a break never happens. How long can a guy go on dreaming? And if there's a chance that you care, then please say you do, baby. Say it and make my craziest dream come true. Please say you do, baby. Say it and make my craziest dream come true.
Yeah, those are the Four Vagabonds. The Four Vagabonds with John Jordan on lead. February 1943. Yes, on the Bluebird record label, I had the craziest dream. Yes, I did. I had the craziest dream. I had a house full of 78s, and then it collapsed. That is more of a nightmare, I can tell you that much. I don't know how some of the people collected so many 78s, because if you're a 78 collector, you better be on the bottom floor, because they are heavy depending on how many you have. I can't even lift the boxes. I mean I would the little box that you can have about 30 or so in the box. I can carry those pretty easy, but the boxes I bought from Bags Unlimited, I gotta put cardboard between each one. Well, not each one. It's like I'll do 10 and then I'll put a cardboard. I mean, I was talking to Bill Obe about this. He has, you can put cardboard between each one. I'm gonna need a lot more space here. Maybe on my rarer ones I would do that, because if you look at a 78 crooked, it'll crack. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, let's continue here. Let's move up 5 years now, and to this next song. And some say this is the first true rock and roll song, supposedly. That was, I think, first done, though, back in September of 1947 on Deluxe Records by Roy Brown. The song was called Good Rockin' Tonight, and I'm not going to debate it. Don't want to do that. But some think the cover that came out in February of 48 was the better version of the song, as done by Wynonie Harris, and that was on Sid Nathan's King record label. But Wynonie really goes back to 1945 with releases on Apollo and the Philo label. In 46, more releases followed on Aladdin and Bullet Records, and also I think the Hamptone label. And then he signed with King Records in late 1947, and this was his second release. And the true originals only came out on a 78. I think Sid Nathan did eventually release this on a 45, as did a lot of the other record companies. They put out their 78s on 45. But the song would, this song would be, I don't know. Oh, I did say that as I lose my mind. But anyway, let's go to February 1948 and give a listen to Wynonie Harris on the King record label with the song Good Rockin' Tonight. Now, these are rough. I'm telling you, when you look at the 78s, I mean, they're not like shiny shellac, no way. So you're going to hear some crackle on this thing, but I think that's just how it is, unfortunately. At the time, they were not using good record or good vinyl to mix these 78s, but here you go. Wynonie Harris, February 48, Good Rockin' Tonight on the King label.
Away all my blues. Have you heard the news? There's good rockin' tonight. Rock, rock. I got the news. Everybody's gonna rock tonight. I'm gonna hold my baby tight as I can. she'll know I'm a mighty man. I got the news, everybody's rocking tonight. Well, Elder Brown, Deacon Jones, they've even left their happy home. They'll be there, just you wait and see. A jumping and a stomping at the Jubilee. Hey man, there's good rocking tonight. Sweet Lorraine, Sioux City Sioux, sweet Georgia Brown, Caledonia too. They'll be there, jumping like mad. Hey sister, ain't you glad? We got the news, there's good rocking tonight. Hoy, 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 there's good rockin' tonight. Hey, 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 everybody's rockin' tonight.
There you go. That is Wynonie Harris. We got to call that a classic. It is. Wynonie Harris there, February 1948. That's on Sid Nathan's King record label. Good Rockin' Tonight is the name of the tune. But I'm telling you, I've been looking. I have a couple of copies of that I have in the collection that I've come across. But they're all like that. They all sound like that with that sound. But unfortunately, that is how they are. But anyway, guess you can hear the original thing right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. I'm your host, Johnny G. If you're new to the program, be sure to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these early sides here, but we do play the music chronologically here, and I have one more in the year 1958. It's actually a flip side from last week, this time by the Four Tunes. Last week I featured their release from April 48 on Irving Berman's Manor record label. It was called I Want to Cry, and they were backing Savannah Churchill on that tune. But on the flip side, it's just the group, and it's an interesting song, especially if you love tempo changes. I know there's some of you in the chat room that like the tempo changes, but you'll notice that in the middle of this song, it features Pat Best on lead. Let's go to April of 1948 for the Four Tunes on the Manor record label with a song entitled Someday. The Four Tunes.
I know that someday you'll want me to want you. When I'm in love with somebody else, you expect me to be true and keep on loving you. Though I'm feeling blue, you think I can forget you until someday you'll want me to want you. When I am strong for somebody new, although you don't want me now, I'll get along somehow, and then I won't you. I know that someday you'll want me to want you, honey, to want you. So when I'm in love with somebody else now, you expect me to be true, oh darling, and keep on loving you, although I'm feeling blue. You think I can't forget you until someday you want me to want you, when I'm in love with somebody else. Although you don't want me now, I'll get along somehow, and then I won't want you.
Yeah, those are the four tunes from April 1948. 10 years before your host, Johnny G, was born. That's on the Manor record label. Someday is the name of the tune. That's Pat Best on lead. And Frank Gingaro mentions that the Mills Brothers and the Drifters covered this tune here. It's a great record. I like that song. So even though I'm not going to say that I'm not a big fan of the early sounds, but it's nice to hear. I mean, I can't do like a whole show of all 1940s music, but it's nice to hear at least how the music progressed, you know, through the years, because we're going to end in 1956, and I got some classics coming up and stuff that's only available on a 78, as these only were. They were not on 45s, but of course you can pick them up on CDs and whatnot, but to get the original stuff, it's not that easy. It's difficult to do. So let's move into 1949 now. Now, this singer, originally from the state of Louisiana, he was a fan of Wynonie Harris, and how interesting that Wynonie covered his song that we played just a couple of 78s earlier. But he signed with the King Deluxe label in 1947, mostly known, I guess, for his jump blues style, but he has a lot of releases and vocal groups backing him up way into the 1960s. And there's one I like that he does on the Home of the Blues label called Sugar Baby, which is pretty good. I'll have to pull that out for a Saturday night. But he would have over 15 top 10 R&B hits and well over 50 releases during his career on many different labels, as I mentioned, but mainly really Deluxe and King. And in March of 49, he had a big #2 R&B hit called Rockin' at Midnight. That was a #2 R&B hit. Then in the fall, he put out kind of like an answer song to that, which also was a big hit for him. This was a #3 a Billboard R&B hit. And his ensemble included Teddy Riley on trumpet, Johnny Fontanet on tenor sax, Louis Sargent on guitar, Tommy Shelvin on stand-up bass, and Frank Porter on drums. This was recorded September 29th of 1949 in Dallas, Texas, and Deluxe released it that October 1949. This is Roy Brown and his mighty men, I think, as it didn't fit on the screen. Yeah, Roy Brown and his mighty men on Deluxe Records. It's called Boogie at Midnight.
Well, you like the boogie and I like the blues. Come on, put on our dancing shoes. We're gonna boogie at midnight. We're gonna boogie at midnight. Well, you wanna get drunk, you got a good point. Let's get together, gonna rock this joint. Gonna boogie at midnight. We're gonna boogie at midnight. Boogie at midnight. Boogie. Gonna 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 boogie at midnight. You wanna be a clown, you wanna be a goof. Let's get together and tear off the roof. Gonna boogie at midnight. shout, let's get through and speak up sound. Boogie at midnight, we're gonna boogie at midnight. Boogie, 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 all night long.
Yeah, that's a swinging tune there by Roy Brown and his Mighty Mighty Men, October 1949. That's on the Deluxe record label. A Boogie at Midnight is the name of the tune. Again, these really thick 78s here with the kind of like gritty sound to it, but still, that is how they sound. Now, this is a different type of shellac. This is like a flexi disc that we have up next as we stay in 1949. It's a flip side from last week. I featured the Robins on Eddie and Leo Mesner's Aladdin record label and a song called Come Back Baby, and it featured the bass lead of Bobby Nunn. He's also doing lead on the flip, which is the intended A-side. This is the intended A-side of this single, and it's not on a 45. It's only on a 78, and again with Bobby Nunn on lead. They recorded this on May 27th of 1949, and Aladdin released it that June of 1949. Here are the Robins on Aladdin. It's called Don't Like the Way... Wait, did I write that right? Yeah, it's called Don't Like the Way You're Doing, the Robins.
Gonna leave you, baby, and you know the reason why.
Go ahead, baby, yeah, girl, go ahead.
Gonna leave you, baby, and you know the reason why.
Go ahead, baby, yeah, girl, go ahead. I don't like the way you're doing.
So baby, bye, 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 bye.
Bye, bye, baby, yeah, girl, bye, bye.
You said that you love me, but I think you told a lie.
Don't lie to me, baby, no, girl, don't lie.
You said that you love me, but I think you told a lie.
Don't lie to me, baby, no, girl, don't lie. I don't like the way you're doing.
So baby, bye, 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 bye.
Bye, bye, baby, yeah, girl, bye, bye. I've decided to be a bachelor for the rest of my natural life. Cause you've learned me a lesson. I don't need no doggone wife.
I could say that I'm sorry, but I'm not the kind who cries.
Don't cry, cry, baby, no, girl, don't cry.
I could say that I'm sorry, but I'm not the kind who cries.
Don't cry to me, baby, no, girl, don't cry. There is nothing more to say.
So baby, bye, 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 bye.
Bye, bye, baby, yeah, girl, go ahead.
So baby, bye, 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 bye.
Bye, bye, baby, pack your things and go on.
So baby, bye, 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 bye.
Bye, baby, bye, bye.
Those are the early Robins on the Aladdin record label there from June of 1949. That's the bass lead, Bobby Nunn on lead, the Robins with Don't Like the Way You're Doing. Hopefully you like the way Johnny G is doing the 78s for today. If you do, please give me a thumbs up as we continue here in 1949. And we fill a request for listener Mark Langdale in Australia. He wanted to hear a flip side from last week. This group from New Haven, Connecticut. I played their debut 78, I'll call it, last week. It was called I've Been a Fool, came out on Ed Levy and Herb Zelby's Lee label. The flip side, written by the baritone of the group, his name is Sam McClure, and Sam's son, Doug McClure, was a member of the Pyramids that recorded for the JD and the JD and also was with the Flamingos in 1960. But this side features Scott King on lead. Let's go to December of 1949 for The Shadows. This is going out to Mark Langdale in Australia. It's on the Lee record label. It's called Nobody Knows. The Shadows.
Nobody knows how I feel about you. Nobody knows how I feel. I'll try to express how I feel about you. I'll do my best to explain. Sometimes I feel so lonely, feel so sad and blue. Nothing seems to matter so long as I have you, baby. Nobody knows how I feel about you. Nobody knows how I feel, how I feel. No, nobody knows how I feel. Nobody will know, dear, just how I feel about you. Nobody knows how I feel.
Oh, darling, please do tell me.
I'll try to express how I feel about you. I'll do my best to explain. Sometimes I feel a little lonely. I feel so sad and blue. Nothing seems to matter, baby, just as long as I have someone here like you. You know, nobody will know how I feel about you. Nobody knows how I feel about you, my dear. Don't nobody know just the way that I feel about you.
Yeah, that's going out to Mark Langdale in Australia, the sound of The Shadows there. Scott King on lead, December 1949. That's the B-side to their debut single on the Lee record label. Nobody Knows is the name of the two. Well, some of you know how difficult it is to put together a 78 show. Is a lot of them I had, I picked these up through the years, and I've cleaned them as I had time, but then I ended up getting a whole bunch. People would donate them to me, or I'd buy a few, and I just kept, I was focusing on the 45. So what I'm doing is I have multiple boxes up here that I flip through, and I'm looking for one from 52, from 53, 54, and I'm trying to mix and match them. That's what I'm doing. So it takes me a little bit of time to do, and you'll hear some of them later on that I do have on 45, but these are not available on a 45, as this next one by the Orioles is not available on a 45, as we go to Baltimore, Maryland for the sound of Sonny Till and the Orioles. And as I mentioned, not all their 45s were, not all their songs were issued on 45, and this one was not. This was their 12th release on Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label, recorded sometime in 1949, but not released until June of 1950. It's with Sid Bass and the orchestra. It's from June of 1950. The Orioles with Sonny Till on lead. It's on the Jubilee record label. It's called You're Gone.
You're gone, and the days seem like years, and my heart is in tears since you have gone. How love was as sweet as a song, till the music went wrong. Now I'm forlorn. I know there is magic in new romance. I know it is tragic to take that chance. I'm blue, 'cause I still love but you, and I can't carry on since you are gone.
There is magic in your romance. I know it is tragic to take that chance. I'm blue, 'cause I still love but you, and I can't carry on since you are
Yeah, those are the Orioles. The Orioles from June of 1950. Signed to the Jubilee record label. You're Gone is the name of the tune. And at this time, this group included Lloyd Thomas Gaither, George Nelson, Johnny Reed, Alexander Sharp, and the lead singer, Erlington Carl how do I pronounce that? Tilghman. I guess changed his name to Sonny Till, but there you go, Sonny Till and the Orioles, an early sound there from June of 1950. And we have a couple more in the year 1950. This R&B singer by the name of Al Jackson, and he wrote this tune. This was recorded in New York City in May of 1950, released in August of 1950. It's on Jack Hook's Roost label, which would become Royal Roost Records. And this Jack Hook, I think he was actually a business partner of Alan Freed, might have been the lawyer or somebody dealing with Alan Freed quite a bit in the mid-1950s. But this is from August of 1950. This is Al Jackson on Roost Records. It's called It Ain't Gonna Be Like That. Al Jackson.
Well, you've been up and down all over town, telling everybody the night before, just thinking and worrying about where you go. You don't realize what you're doing to me. You got me as batty as I can be. Yes, I'm crazy in the head, trying to figure you out. Well, you got the best jelly roll in town, and I ain't gonna do without. That's why
it ain't gonna be like that.
This morning,
It ain't gonna be like that.
pretty baby,
It ain't gonna be like that.
no, no, no.
It ain't gonna be like that.
I ain't gonna let it go like that, baby. No, no.
Yes, August 1950 release there for Al Jackson. Cool tune there, cool rockin' tune there, Al Jackson on the Roost record label. It Ain't Gonna Be Like That is the name of the tune. It is gonna be like this. All 78 show for this Thursday afternoon, so thank you all for being here. And this next 78 created a stir last week when I played the flip side of this. This is a gospel 78 that I found in my box on the Atlantic record label by a group called the Parker Brothers Quartet. And the side I played last week was called The Separating Line. And I got to thank Bill Olb for information on this group because I spoke to Bill about this record. The group members were Alex, Benny, Lewis, and Jesse Lee Parker. They had one recording session that was held January 22nd of 1950 with the Atlantic Records. And it was held at a radio station, WWDC, in Washington, D.C., where they recorded 7 songs, but only one single was put out by Atlantic, and that's Atlantic number 908. So the side I played, what did I say? This is the flip side from last week. Now, unfortunately, my copy of this is the same label on both sides, and that's just how it is. I kind of, when I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, did I play this side last week? I said, no, it was called The Separating Line. So, but that's not the name of the song. The name of the song is I Can't Help From Crying Sometimes. And we're going to send this one out, especially to listeners Bill Olb and Gordy Freeman, who are tuned into the program today. This is from May of 1950, the Parker Brothers Quartet on Atlantic number 908. It's called I Can't Help From Crying Sometimes. Here you go.
Don't you know my mother died and left me well down in this sinful world? Well, she called me to her bedside, said I'm going to leave you now. Oh, so many doubts and fears, Lord, my heart is filled with tears. Lord, I can't help from crying sometime. Don't you know then I can help from crying sometime, crying sometime. I can't help from crying sometime, crying sometime. Good Lord, you know it's so many doubts and fears. Lord, my heart is filled with tears. Lord, I can't help from crying sometime. Well, don't you know then I can't help from crying, Lord, crying sometime, crying sometime. I can't help from crying sometime. heart is filled with tears. Lord, I can't help from crying sometime. Well, don't you know my mother died and left me? Well, down in this sinful world. Well, she called me to her bedside, said I'm going to leave you now. Oh, there's so many doubts and fears. Lord, my heart is filled with tears. Lord, I can't help from crying sometime.
There you go. I want to critique on that record there, Bill and Gordy. That Parker Brothers Quartet from May 1950, that's on the Atlantic record label. It's called I Can't Help From Crying Sometimes. And this record was reviewed in the May 20th, 1950 edition of Billboard magazine. It wouldn't be till November 12th of 1961 that they would record their next session, which was for King Records. And they were then called the Parker Brothers Choir. And they put out an LP, and they had one single that maybe you're going to hear on the next gospel special here when Bill Olb is my special guest again later in the year. So there you go. That is the song there. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, how about a twin spin on the Atlantic record label as we move into 1951? Now, a couple weeks ago, featured the debut single for the Cardinals, a group out of Baltimore, Maryland. The song was called Shouldn't I Know, featuring the great lead of Ernie Warren. Listener Casey Hines requested the flip side of this. And this song, written in 15 minutes at the Cardinals' first session held with Atlantic Records in New York City. That was in March of 1951. And Jesse Stone is on piano. It features the baritone Donald Jack Johnson on lead. Now, this is not available on a 45. This is only on a 78. But maybe Atlantic may have reissued this, though, in the 70s on a 45. I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll send this one out to Casey. March 1951, the Cardinals on Atlantic, the B-side to their debut single. It's called Please Don't Leave Me, the Cardinals.
Please don't leave me.
Talk to you, baby.
Baby, please don't go.
Yes, honey, cause
If you leave me,
yes, baby,
you know I'll miss you so. Your love's the thing I need. That's why I've got to please. Please don't leave
let me
me.
talk to you, baby.
Please don't leave me.
Yeah, honey,
Please don't say goodbye.
yes, baby, cause
If you're angry, baby, tell me why, and I will make amends so we can still be friends. But please don't leave me.
You can kick and stomp and beat me,
Don't
trick and lie and cheat me. I swear you won't defeat me, though you bring me down to shame. You can fuss and then misuse me, cuss me and abuse me. I swear you never lose me, cause I love you just the same.
so please don't leave me. Please don't go away.
yes, honey, cause
I'll do better if you will only stay. I'll treat you nice and kind and give you all my time. But please don't leave me.
I'm begging on my knees. Please
forgive me, honey, I was wrong, baby. Baby, give me one more chance, honey, please, please, please don't go. Baby, listen, baby, let me tell you, honey, I don't want nobody but you, baby. Good Lord, what am I gonna do? I'm tired of fooling with you now, woman. You better not go nowhere.
As May 1951 release there for the Cardinals, that's their debut single on the Atlantic record label, a Twin Spin. We heard the Parker Brothers Quartet there, the Cardinals there. Please Don't Leave Me is the name of the tune. We stay in 1951 with an early Dominoes tune. This, as Big Dave Swinger mentioned, did not come out on a 45, only on a 78. And this was recorded December 30 of 1950. They did their second session for Federal Records and only recorded 2 songs that day. One was 60 Minute Man, and then the other was this song, which never came out on a 45. And this time the group included Billy Ward, Charlie White, William Brown, William Joseph Lamont, and the lead singer on this, the great Clyde McPhatter. And this was the group's second overall release. The song dates back, though, to 1937, first recorded by Roy Fox and his orchestra with the vocal by Barry Gray. Let's move up 14 years to January 1951. The Dominoes on the Federal label and their rendition of the tune Harbor Lights.
I saw the harbor lights. They only told me we were partying. Same old harbor lights that once brought you to me. I've watched the harbor lights. How could I help if tears were starting? Goodbye to tender nights beside the silver sea. I've longed to hold you there and to kiss you just once more, but you were gone on that ship. And yes, I was on the shore. Now I know, lonely nights. All the while, my heart is whispering some other the harbor lights will steal your love from me.
I long to hold tight and kiss you just once more, but you were on that ship, and I was on the shore. Oh,
Now I know, lonely nights. For the while, my heart is whispering some other harbor lights will steal your love
There you go. Those are the Dominoes. I didn't know. Joe Shacatano. Joe was sending me requests. Actually, many people were sending me requests for records that I didn't have on 45 or were only on 78. And either I own them on 78 or they only came out on 78. So I totally forgot about that old request, Joe Shacatano. So we'll send it out to Joe. You can mark that down. Joe is a milestone. We're talking. I gotta tell you about Joe Shacatano on Saturday night. As what was it, 600 and something requests that have featured for Joe over the years. I think so we'll talk about that. I told him I'm going to mention it Saturday night, but there you go. The great Dominoes, the great Clyde McPhatter on lead there. January 51 on Federal Records, Harbor Lights. They will return later in the program, by the way. As we are in the year 1951, the group is called the Renee Hall Trio. And Renee Hall, he was a very underrated guitarist, in my opinion. But he was not only a guitarist, he was also a band leader, but also an arranger and conductor and an A&R man out of Los Angeles, California. Had 2 releases on the Decca label as the Renee Hall Trio. Now, this is his first, which was recorded at Decca Studios here in New York City on April 26th of 1951. Now, it features Cortland Carter. He is singing on this. He also is playing the guitar, as is Renee Hall on guitar. Teddy Sinclair is the bass, and Jimmy Crawford on drums. This is May 1951, the Renee Hall Trio on the Decca label. It's called My Kind of Rockin', the Renee Hall Trio.
You do my kind of rockin'. You do my kind of rockin'. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. Hold me, baby, hold me tight. Rock all day and then you rock all night. With my kind of rockin'. With my kind of rockin'. Rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. Rock me in the bottom, rock me on the hill. Rock me, baby, like Jack rocked Jill. That's my kind of rockin'. That's my kind of rockin'. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. Rock me now, rock me then. Keep on rocking, I'll tell you when. With my kind of rockin'. With my kind of rockin'. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. Rock me easy, rock me fast. Rock me, baby, as long as you last. With my kind of rockin'. With my kind of rockin'. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. Like to rock, swing and sway. Gonna keep on rockin' till I'm old and gray. With my kind of rockin'. With my kind of rockin'. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul. When you rock and roll, you satisfy my soul.
Yeah, Yeah, that is a great guitar riff there on that one. That's Renee Hall playing that guitar. That's the Renee Hall Trio, May 1951 on the Decca record banner. And that featured Cortland Carter on lead. My Kinda Rockin' is the name of the tune. That's their first of two on the Decca record label. Let's continue here. We move into 1952 now with another group out of Baltimore, Maryland. They recorded 3 for Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label. This is their debut single. Now, the group included Henry Abrams. He was the bass, David Jones, baritone, Johnny Page, second tenor, and the lead singer on this, his name is Louis Buster Banks. And it was Baltimore disc jockey Bill Franklin of WSID who was instrumental with them getting this contract with Jubilee Records. Now, I picked up a nice mint 45 of this, but prior to that I had it on a 78, so this is like a duplicate here, but it's a nice copy here from April 1952. Let's give a listen to the Marylanders on the Jubilee label. It's called I'm a Sentimental Fool.
I'm a sentimental fool because of my love for you. Whenever we meet, my heart skips a beat. Sentimental fool, never lonesome or blue. My darling, 'cause I have you, I'll never be sad, I'll always be glad. Sentimental fool. I need you oh so badly, badly. My heart beats for you madly, madly. My life I'd give you gladly, gladly. Anytime, anytime.
But if you ever leave me too,
and never again find home, I'll still wear a smile. I've had you a while, sentimental fool. I need you oh so badly, badly. My heart beats for you madly, madly. My life I'd give you gladly, gladly. Anytime.
but if you ever leave me too,
and never again find home, I'll still wear a smile. I've had you a while. I'm a sentimental fool.
Yeah, those are the Marylanders. The Marylanders from April 1952. It's on the Jubilee record banner, I'm a Sentimental Fool. That's their debut single. That's Louis Buster Banks. He's the lead singer on that. And I do have that on a 45. I have the, I think I have the, no, I don't have everything on a 45 coming up as in the remainder of the program, but I'll tell you when that is the case. But I do have this next one on a 45. This great group out of Washington, D.C., talking about the Clovers. They had 22 releases at the folks for the folks at Atlantic Records. This is their 5th release. The session was held on March 18th of 1952, but this was released in October. that year. The song credits Diane Alexis. Now, she was the daughter of Lee Magid, I think that's how you pronounce it, Magid, who actually wrote the song. Now, Lee was a big producer and manager of many artists. Also, he was an A&R man for Atlantic Records. Now, this was the first ballad to nationally chart for the group. Their releases prior were all up-tempos, and this came in at number 3 on the Billboard R&B chart. It features the great John Buddy Bailey on lead. Let's go to October of 1952. The sound of the Clovers here on the Atlantic label. It's called I Played the Fool, the Clovers.
Why tried to hurt me? I've been fair to you. You could have told me that our affair was through. You played the game, but darling, I played the fool. Why did you leave me after all we planned? Don't try to tell me I'll never understand. You played the game, but darling, I played the fool. I'll drink a toast to a memory I just sit down with a tear. I'll wash away that memory. It's my only souvenir. Why did you leave me? Everybody knows. Friends tried to tell me that's the way it goes. You played the game, but darling, I played the fool. I'll drink a toast to our memory and chase it down with a tear. I'll wash away that memory.
It's my only souvenir.
Why did you leave me? Everybody knows. Friends tried to tell me that's the way it goes. You played the game, but darling, I played the fool.
Oh, that's a great sound of the Clovers there, sounding so good on a 78 too, gotta say. October 1952, but John Buddy Bailey on lead, the Clovers on the Atlantic record label. I Played the Fool is the name of the tune. That's a great record, I have to say. Let's move into 1953 now. Now, the lead singer of this next group is originally from Waco, Texas. He began his career as a lead vocalist for the Charioteers. We heard him earlier in the program. He was attending Wilberforce University in Ohio when he joined 3 other students to become the Charioteers, but he left the group in 1949 to form his own group. It was called the Billy Williams Quartet. He signed with MGM Records for 11 releases. Had a bunch of them in the box, I saw that, but they would sign with Mercury Records in 1952. Here's their 5th of 10 on the Mercury label, of course, with Billy Williams on lead, so he returns here. January 1953, the Billy Williams Quartet. It's on Mercury Records. It's called Pour Me a Glass of Teardrops, the Billy Williams Quartet.
Pour me a glass of teardrops, and I'll tell you a joke about a broken heart. You can laugh anytime you're ready, 'cause it's funny, yes, it's funny from the start. Oh, it seems there were once two lovers, with a love as sure as any love could be. Now he chased her and he teased with little false alarms. The punchline is he chased her into someone else's arms. So pour me a glass of teardrops and have one big laugh on me. Pour me a glass of teardrops, and I'll tell you a joke about a broken heart.
When do we laugh?
Laugh anytime you're ready.
Is it funny?
Yes, it's funny from the start. Seems there were once two lovers, with a love as sure as any love could be.
He chased her and he
Yes.
teased her with little false alarms.
Yes, he did.
The punchline is he chased her into someone else's arms.
Oh, pour me a glass of teardrops and have a laugh. One great big laugh. One great big laugh on me.
Yeah, there you go. What a great record. That was George Tompkins turned me on to that record. He did Billy Williams Quartet there with Billy Williams on lead. January 1953 on the Mercury record banner. Pour Me a Glass of Teardrops is the name of the tune. That's with the orchestra and everything else behind him there. What a great record that is. I have that on a 45 too. I will say a maroon 45 for the Mercury record label. Johnny G's here on a Thursday. Hope you're digging on the tunes. If you are, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to get in touch with me, if you have a request, I can't promise you I'm going to find all the 78 requests. I do have some listed down. If I find them, I will pull them out to play for you, even if they're in wrecked shape. So anyway, but I will do that. But Vinyltreasures at AOL.com, that is the contact here for your requests. Yesterday we had the first show of the week, the Soul Show, from 9 to midnight. The chat was up pretty quickly, I have to say, and I don't know what it is with them. Maybe they were off for the Memorial Day weekend. I don't know, because the Saturday show didn't post for a long time. But last night's show posted pretty quickly, and I expect this show to post with the chat quickly too. So I'll be back on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time till midnight with your requests. So if you have them, send them to me at vinyltreasures at AOL.com. So let's continue here. In the year 1953, we go back to the flip sides here. Last week I featured this other group from the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area called the Magic Tones. They did two on Sid Nathan's King record label, and I featured their first for Joe Shacatano and others who requested the song, because I didn't have this on a 45. This one eluded me. I looked in the collection that I was going through, and I did not find it there, unfortunately. So I stuck with the 78, but it's a Great copy, I have to say. But I featured for Joe last week, When I Kneel Down to Pray. Now, the flip is a cool jump. I want to send this one out to UK listener Indrajit. We'll also send it out to Mark in the UK. The group included Arthur Boxey Williams, he was the first tenor, Gene Hawkins, second tenor and guitar, James Williams, the baritone, Willie Ricky Stokes, the bass, and the lead singer, Joe Rico Reed on lead. This is from September 53. The Magic Tones on the King record label. It's called Good Googa Mooga.
Good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. When you see a pretty girl walking down the street, you say to your buddy, now ain't she sweet? You say good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she sweet? You say good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she sweet? Well, it's good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. Well, good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. Say good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she sweet? Your life is 2 to 1. She'll become your wife, 'cause it's good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she nice? Yes, this good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she nice? Well, it's good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. Well, good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. Say good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she nice? It was started by a guy down around our way. Old Hot Rod was the first to say that it's good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she nice? Well, it's good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she nice? Well, it's good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. Well, good Googa Mooga, yes, good Googa Mooga. Well, it's good Googa Mooga, which means now ain't she nice? Ain't she nice?
Is a swinging tune there. There you go, Indrajit. That's for you there over in the UK and all the UK dancers there. September 1953 on the King record banner. Good Googa Mooga is the name of the tune. Those are the Magic Tones there with Joe Rico Reed on lead. I don't have that on a 45, folks. I have it on a 78. I have their other one on a 45 that I got on the cheap, won it on eBay many years ago. And I've been on eBay for a long time, back to 1999. But once they started taxing me on it, I don't want to deal with it. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't buy on eBay, but if there's something I really want, I will go for it. But if I'm going to bid like $2,000 on a 45, that's a lot of taxes to pay. I got other outlets that I'd rather deal with. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Thursday. Let's continue here. We are in the year 1953. The Dominoes return, and this is their 15th release on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. And in late 1953, the group included Billy Ward, Cliff Givens, Milton Merle, James Van Loan, he was the brother of Joe Van Loan, and a new lead singer replaced Clyde McPhatter. His name was Jackie Wilson. And I guess we can say basically replaced Clyde McPhatter, because he left to become the lead of the Drifters. Now they do a nice rendition of this tune, first recorded back in 1936 by Andy Kirk and his 12 Clouds of Joy, with the lead vocalist Faye Terrell. But we move up 17 years to December of 1953, And give a listen to Billy Ward and his Dominoes on the Federal record banner. The great Jackie Wilson on lead, and their rendition of the tune Until the Real Thing Comes Along, the Dominoes.
Work for you, I'd slave for you, I'd be a beggar or a knave for you. If that isn't love, it will have to do until the real thing comes along. I'd gladly move the earth for you to prove my love, dear, and its worth for you. If that isn't love, it will have to do until the real thing comes along. With all the words, dear, at my command, I just can't make you understand. I'll always love you, darling, come what may. My heart is yours, what more can I say? I'd sigh for you, I'd cry for you, I'd tear the stars down from the sky for you. If that isn't love, it will have to do until the real thing comes along. With all the words, dear, at my command, I just can't make you understand. I'll always love you, darling, come what may. My heart is yours, dear, what more can I say? I'd sigh for you, I'd cry for you, I'd tear the stars down from the sky for you. And if that isn't love, it will have to do until the real thing comes along.
That's the sound of Billy Ward and the Dominoes there on December 1953. Sid Nathan's Federal record label there, their rendition of the tune Until the Real Thing Comes Along. That is a great vocal there by Jackie Wilson. Johnny G here on I hope I didn't say Saturday, it's a Thursday afternoon here. Beautiful day here in Westchester County, New York, as we move into 1954 now with this gal, the daughter of a Philadelphia band leader and Cuban dancer. She was born in Cuba back in 1928 and came to the U.S. at age 2. She sang with musicians the like of Tito Puente and Duke Ellington, and she was also a songwriter, first recording for the Mercury label back in 1951. She would then sign with Atlantic in 1953. She had 3 singles on the Atlantic record label, couple with groups, by the way, and she would then sign with Guidon Records in 1954, and this was the very first record on the Guidon label, a different numbering series at the time, so somebody else probably owned this at the time, the 100 series. This is arranged by band leader Buddy Johnson. It's with Kelly Owens and his orchestra. This is from November 1954. Let's give a listen to Carmen Taylor. Carmen Taylor on the Guidon label. It's called No More no less, Carmen Taylor.
I'm a small town girl, I ain't no fool. I learned how to love from the old school. I can stand up with the best, I'll pass in the love and tell. I ain't got no more than nobody else, but I sure ain't got no less. I know all about love, well, I'm a real loving girl. I know all about love, I'm a real lover girl. And I believe my loving is the best in the world. Now I've traveled around the 48, I learned a little something in every state. Believe me, I'm a man, I'll pass in a loving test. I ain't got no more than nobody else, but I sure ain't got no less. I know all about love, well, I'm a real loving girl. I know all about love, I'm a real loving girl. And I believe my loving is the best in the world. A book about the things I've done, the places that I've been. But if I had it to do all over, I'd do the same old things again. Well, love gave me a happiness. Here's the secret to success. Don't have no more than nobody else, but please don't have no less.
There you go. That's the ones. If you see me take records out of plastic, those are the majority of those are records I got in that trade with those 3 Beatle LPs with Glenn Fowsell. He got this one. I think I have this on a 45 also. I have a number of 45s on these Blue Label Guiding whatever it is, but that's the first one on the label. A great tune there by Carmen Taylor, November 1954. Guiding Records, No More, No Less is the name of the tune. She has other releases on Tin Pan Alley, I think, OK, King Records, Apollo Records. It was unfortunate, though, that in June of 1974, she was gunned down by her ex-convict husband at 5th and Market Streets in San Francisco, California. An untimely death to that great singer, Carmen Taylor. Johnny G here on a Thursday. If you're new to the program, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell, the drop-down bell, to get notifications when Johnny G goes live. It should send you an email. You got to be signed in, though, to YouTube. As we continue here, for this next singer, born in Memphis, Tennessee, he would join Adolph Duncan's band as a pianist, playing around Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee, with a network of local musicians that became known as the Beale Streeters. Now, his real name was John Marshall Alexander Jr., but you know him as Johnny Ace. He signed with Duke Records back in 1952. There were 10 singles that were released on the Duke record label. This was his 6th, a tune written by Joe Scott, who was a trumpeter, arranger, and conductor, and A&R man for the Duke Peacock label. This song covered by so many vocal groups in the 1950s and 60s, but no vocal group on the original. This was a number 9 R&B chart. This was number 9 on the Billboard R&B chart, September 1954. Let's give a listen to Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace on the Duke label, and the original version of Never Let Me Go, Johnny Ace.
Just let me love you tonight. Forget about tomorrow. My darling, won't you hold me tight and never let me go? Dry your eyes, no tears, no sorrow. Cling to me with all your might and never let me go. Times or more, we said we'd never part, but lately I find you're a stranger in my heart. Give me the right in summer or in springtime to tell the world that you are mine and never let me go. No, and never let me go. And never let me go.
Well, I gotta say the 78s play a lot better than the 45s. That is the case, because I have that on a 45. It doesn't play anywhere near as good as that one there. September 1954. That's Johnny Ace on the Duke record label. The original version of Never Let Me Go, recorded by so many artists out there. Now, Ace's very next release was a song called Pledging My Love, and as many of you do know, that on December 24th of 1954, he died of an accidental self-inflicted gunshot wound while playing a Russian roulette, a very tragic ending to a talented singer there. And right after he died, so many songs came out as tribute songs for him. It was amazing that was the case. So many, and I have them. I could do like a show. I could do a show of tribute songs. Interesting to do. That is a thought. But anyway, let's stay in 1954 now. On last Thursday's 78 show, I featured this group from Indianapolis, Indiana, played their 6th of 8 on Randy Wood's Dot record label, a song called From This Day On. Well, here is their debut single, and this was the group's, I guess we can call it, biggest hit. This was number 6 on the Billboard R&B chart. It features Chester Brown on lead. Let's go to January of 1954. January 1954, these are the Counts on the Dot label. It's called Darling Dear.
Darling dear, oh where did you go, darling?
January 1954 release there for the Counts. That's their debut single on Randy Wood's Dot record label. Darling Dear is the name of the tune. That's Chester Brown on lead, sounding oh so much better on a 78 than the 45. Those nice, thick, heavy 78s on Dot, they play really nice. As I played the Dell Vikings a couple weeks ago, that sounded pretty good too. But let's continue here. We are in the year 1954. This gal, she hails from Newark, New Jersey. She sang gospel, R&B, and opera. She was also a songwriter. She was married to Johnny Bell. He was a member of the Watkins Bell Singers that recorded for the Bandwagon record label. Her name was Lucille Watkins, and she, along with her husband, wrote this tune. She's being backed up by a vocal group. They're called The Volumes, and they had an earlier release on this label, this Jaguar label. I have this on a promo 45, which is still somewhere in my boxes down in the no humidity basement, but I saw the 78. I said we'll give it a play here on the Thursday afternoon show. August 1954, Lucille Watkins with The Volumes on Jaguar Records. It's called Wait a minute, I got the wrong side here. Hold on a second, folks. Play the other side here. Yes. Wrong one. Oh, I gotta be careful with that. Okay, it's called there we go. It's called You Left Me Lonely. Lucille Watkins with The Volumes.
Never thought this would happen to me. My heart is broken, and I'm crying for you. Crying for you. Though we're parted, my heart isn't free. You left me lonely, and I'm crying for you.
She left me crying for you.
Now I'm all alone with my memories of you. My happiness is gone, and I don't know what I'll do. Wherever you go, I want you to know my heart is broken, and I'm lonely, crying for you. Crying for you. Now I'm all alone with my memories of you. My happiness is gone. I don't know what I'll do.
Yes, August 1954 release there for Lucille Watkins with the Volumes. It's on the Jaguar record label. You Left Me Lonely is the name of the tune. I don't know why I had the wrong side up there. Maybe when I put the 78 in the box there. But anyway, let us continue here. And we move into 1955. We go to the Atlantic subsidiary Cat record label for this next group. Now, they are the Q's. Jesse Stone brought them to Atlantic, where they started backing up a number of single artists that recorded for the label. And oddly, they never recorded for Atlantic under their own name. But each artist they sang for, they used a different group name. For instance, Ruth Brown, they were known as the Rhythm Makers. Laverne Baker, they were known as the Gliders. Ivory Joe Hunter, they were known as the Ivory Tones. Joe Turner, they were known as the Blues Kings. And for this singer, Charlie White, who previously sang with the Dominoes, Checkers, and Clovers, the group was known as the Playboys, but they were all known as the Q's. This is their second of two on the Cat record label from March of 1955. These are the Playboys on the Cat label, and it features Charlie White on lead. The song is called Honey Bun.
Doodla-doodla-doo-wop, ba-doo-doo-wop. Doodla-doodla-doo-wop, ba-doo-doo-wop. Doodla-doodla-doo-wop, ba-doo-doo-wop.
Honey bun, you're the one for me. Honey bun, you're the one for me. You got a perfect personality. You are my only reality. Honey bun, you're the one for me. Honey bun, you're my world and all. Honey bun, you're my world and all. Please, pretty baby, let me hold you tight. I wanna make love to you day and night. Honey bun, you're my world and all.
Doodla-doodla-doo-wop, ba-doo-doo-wop. Doodla-doodla-doo-wop, ba-doo-doo-wop. Doodla-doodla-doo-wop, ba-doo-doo-wop. Honey bun, honey bun, honey bun, honey bun.
Honey bun, you're the one for me. Honey bun, you're the one for me. I get a thrill when I'm kissing you. Oh, how it chills me when I'm missing you. Honey bun, you're the one for me. Honey bun.
Yeah, those are the Playboys, a.k.a. the Q's. They're backing up Charlie White. Charlie White there on lead, March 1955. The Playboys on Cat Records. Honey Bun is the name of the tune. We are in the year 1955, and this great group from Louisville, Kentucky is up next. They hooked up with Cleveland disc jockey Alan Freed in 1953, recorded their first release for the Champagne record label. That was Alan Freed's label, by the way. Then Freed, who became their manager, set them up with Art Sheridan's Chance record label out of Chicago. Now, after 5 releases there for the label, their next stop was Leonard Chess's Chess record label. Their first release on Chess was a classic called Sincerely, but here is their fifth release, a song that I first heard on an LP that my Aunt Mary purchased in August of 1962 on the Chess label. It was Murray the K's Gassers for Submarine Race Watchers. There you go. And I never did any submarine race watching. Maybe some of you in the chat room did, but I did not. But this features Bobby Lester on lead, and my aunt really loved this song. This is from November 55, The Sound of the Moonglows on the Chess label. It's called In My Diary.
In my diary, a lot of things I'm gonna write about the moon and that lonely night. And my diary will tell all about you, tell of all your charms and the things you do. Diaries are made of things we do and all the people we met. But my diary is about you, and I don't want to forget. In my diary, I'll write as plain as I can, paint a picture with words, so the world can understand. Diaries are made of things we do and all the people we met. But my diary is about you. I don't want to forget in my diary. I'll write as plain as I can, paint a picture with words, so the world can understand, so the world can
That's a great sound of the Moonglows there, and a classic that they do on the Chess record label. The Moonglows with Bobby Lester on lead, a song entitled In My Diary, came out in November of 1955. Again, that's on the Murray the K's Gassers for Submarine Race. I still have my aunt's copy. The cover is all destroyed, but I ended up picking up Brian Korn was selling Norm's LPs, and I picked up some mint copies of some LPs that I really, really wanted, especially that Rumble LP with the blue label too, by the way. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Thursday as we continue here. Now, last week, on last week's show, I featured the Dappers from Boston, Massachusetts, a request for listener Emnon called Come Back to Me. I think Emnon also requested the flip side, as did the late Jimmy Amato. Was saddened to hear on I saw it on Facebook. It was Tony O posted it that Jimmy Amato passed away on Saturday sometime. And he was just in my chat room last Thursday. He asked for the flip side of this 78, and he said he was going to send me other requests. He wanted to send one out to Mike Sape, as he was and he loved the show. He told me, he said, Johnny, I love what you're doing here. I love to see wish I found you sooner. And of course, Jimmy was a big collector also, and I know he had some kind of heart issues where he was in the hospital for about a week, and he was in earlier, I think. He told me that Louie and his wife were going to go visit him, and that he was going to tell him to tune into the show because Louie has trouble out doing things on the internet. So he would always ask me for these really kind of oddball records that are good. I was lucky to have some of them, but he was very knowledgeable about that. And I'm telling you, I was messed up for the day when I found that out. And because he wasn't in my show on Saturday, so he normally is. So I'm going to dedicate Saturday's show to Jimmy Amato, but he requested the flip side of this in my chat last Thursday. So where'd I leave off here? He requested this, the flip side here. So I'm going to send this one out, at least on today's show, in memory of the late Jimmy Amato, as we will miss him and miss his presence in the chat room. This is on Don Roby's Peacock record label out of Houston, Texas. A song written by the lead singer of the group. His name is George Dapper Cromwell. From May 55, the Dappers on Peacock. It's called Mambo Oomph.
Please love me till my dying day. Don't ever leave me. I'll never go away. Sometimes, dear, when we are far apart, I think of you with all my heart. So if you won't come back to me, my love will be so gay. Each lonely night I think of you, I do nothing but pray. So I'll just wait until you return, hoping, my dear, that you'll have learned to love me until my dying day. Don't ever leave me, I'll never go away. Mambo, mambo, mambo. So if you won't come back to me, my love will be so gay. Each lonely night I think of you, I do nothing but pray. So I'll just wait until you return, hoping, my dear, that you'll have learned to love me until my dying day. Don't ever leave me, I'll never go away. Mambo,
There you go. Those are the Dappers. The Dappers from May 1955 on the Peacock record label. Mambo Oomph is the name of that one. And Jimmy Amato, the late Jimmy Amato, requested that last week. And again, we, in memory of Jimmy Amato, I will dedicate Saturday night show to Jimmy as we continue here in 1955. Now, after the royalty squabble between Penguins between the Penguins and Dootsy Williams, owner of Dutone, due to the neglect of royalties on their song Earth Angel. The group left and signed with Mercury Records. They had 7 releases on the Mercury label. This is their third, written by group member Curtis Williams. It features Cleve Duncan. I think there's dual leads on this. Cleve Duncan and Dexter Tisby, I think. This is from August 55. Let's give a listen to the Penguins on the Mercury record banner. It's called Devil That I See, the Penguins.
Mars will follow you, dear, when you pass me so near. Devil that I see, you know just what you mean to me. I'm the victim of your charm. When I hold you in my arms, I don't care about the world, or what some people might say. I've had lots of trouble, but I love my baby anyway. Oh, devil that I see, you know just what you mean to me. I'm the victim of your charm. When I hold you in my arms, I don't care about the world or what some people might say. I've had lots of trouble, but I love my baby anyway. Devil that I see, you know just what you mean to me. I'm the victim of your charm. Oh, devil that I see, devil that I see.
That's August 1955 release there for the Penguins. Cleve Duncan on lead. The Penguins on the Mercury label. Devil That I See is the name of the tune. That is, what did I say? That's their third release on the Mercury record label. We continue here in 1955, and let's give a listen to this group from Boston, Massachusetts. It's their debut single on Sidney Siegel's Dawn record label. They had 6 releases through 1958. Now, but this song dates back to the early 1940s. You may know the version by the Ink Spots, but let's give a listen to this group called the Sophomores. It features Eddie Brooks on lead. This was another song that the late George Doowop Tompkins turned me on to from April 56. The Sophomores on the Dawn label. It's called Every Night About This Time.
Miss you so.
Every night about this time, oh how I miss you. I drift into our old rendezvous every night about this time. The gang keeps on asking why you're not around, and I keep pretending that you're just out of town. Every night about this time, memories haunt me. Miss you, miss you, miss you. Wondering too, who's dancing with you every night about this time. And whenever they croon a favorite tune, a tear falls with every rhyme. Oh, how I miss you. Every night about this time. Oh, how I miss you. Every night about this time.
That's Eddie Brooks and the Sophomores there. That's their debut single, probably for the flip side, the up-tempo Cool Cool Baby, but that's an excellent ballad there, Every Night About This Time, from April 1958. That's on Sidney Siegel's Dawn record label. Let's continue here, 1956 now. Actually, that record was 56. I take it back. I'm not playing 55. I've been playing 56. That's what happens when you have cataracts, starting to get ripe on Johnny G. But yeah, let's stay in 56. But we go to Harlem, New York for this next group. They signed with High Weiss's Old Town record label in late 1953. Would have 20 releases on the label. Let's give a listen to their 8th. And this this release was just the prior release to this was a song called The Wedding. How appropriate to follow it up with a song called The Honeymoon. It features Milton, Love, and Bobby Taylor doing a duet here on this. This is from February 56. The Sound of the Solitaires on the Old Town record label. It's called The Honeymoon.
I love you, you love me, we're as happy as we can be. Wow, 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 we're on our honeymoon. Do-wop, 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 bop, bop, when we marry, my life began. You're the only one. Wow, 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 we're on our honeymoon, honeymoon, honeymoon. Well, when I said I loved you, I meant it. your caress. Wow, 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 wow. We're on our honeymoon, honeymoon, honeymoon. Yes, when I said I love you, I meant it truly, dear. I feel so all alone whenever you're not here. I love you every day. I love you every night. Darling, I love you with all my might. Kiss me sweetly with tenderness. Thrill me deeply with your caress. Wow, 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 wow. We're on our honeymoon. On our honeymoon.
That's February 1956 release there for the Solitaires. Solitaires on High Weiss's Old Town record label. That's Milton Love and Bobby Baylor on lead. The Honeymoon is the name of the tune. The honeymoon is almost over. 2 more 45s to go before we sign off here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, if you missed any part of the show, it'll be up instantaneously. As soon as I shut down, the replay will be there. It saves automatically, so you can go back and look at the program there, so no fear. But the chat will not be there. It'll post probably in a few hours there, and then I kind of changed the thumbnail on the thing there. I don't want Johnny's ugly face on there. I try to put a label or whatnot on there. But anyway, 2 more 45s to go here. Let's go to Brooklyn, New York now for this next group. They signed with Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label in 1955. Their debut single was a song called It Wasn't a Lie. And Tommy, I saw that in the box. I got to clean it, though. But I will play that on a future show. But this was their third release on the Atlas label, written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Lo Murray here. And these are the Phi-Tones Quintet on this one. So we'll send this one out to listener Tommy Albergo. And I haven't... well, I said I did see It Wasn't a Lie. I said that, but prior to writing this, I did not. But anyway, let's go to May of 1956. The Phi-Tones Quintet on the Atlas record label. This is for Tommy Albergo. It's called I Belong to You.
You belong to me. I belong to you. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. As I embrace you, my arms caressing you, my dreams have been answered, for darling, I belong to you. Do-wop, do-wop. And wherever you may go, no matter where, I seem to know, the more I think of you, the more I love you so. The only thing I ask of you is that I just could hear, oh yes, the promise of your faithfulness will ever more endure, my dear. I must be sure
that you are mine, to dedicate my life. All the time I pray that you are, for I belong to you. Do-wop, 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 do-wop.
There you go, that group out of Brooklyn, New York. Those are the Phytones Quintet. That one there from May 1956 on Thomas Robinson's Atlas record label. I Belong to You is the name of the tune. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to these cool 78s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with me, you can send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I have been getting requests on the 78 show, but again, I don't know where these records are, and not that I have. You're going to get a better fill on the 45s versus the 78s. But I got to ask the 78 collectors, not the guys that collect 45s too. So this goes out to Tony Barcia. So Tony, when you were collecting your 78s, if there was a song that you liked that did not come out on a 78, did you buy the 45? I would think you would, but you just preferred the 78. Well, you gotta. The sound quality on these mid-50s 78s, you can't go wrong. You really can if you have a decent equipment. And my shell heads are wired for mono. They're not mono. They're wired with copper wire, and it's a 78 stylus that I use. The Orthophon. These are the cartridges I use. Orthophon cartridges. I just slip them on. They're not so expensive, but it doesn't have to be expensive to sound good. But and just to think that the late Chris Ciccone wanted to buy all my 78s. He actually said, Johnny, I'll trade you for the 78s. And he kept on bothering me, but I didn't do it. I said, Chris, I don't know, because I got stuff that I don't have on 45. I don't want to get rid of them. Maybe, and you don't want the lesser condition ones that I have. So I kept them, and so now I'm putting them to good use. It takes me some time to prepare for this show, and I can't stop it because I get emails every week from new people asking me to continue with the program. So as long as that happens, I will continue doing it. I will tell you that much. So I want to thank you all for being here, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, if you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you got to be signed in, though, to YouTube. I'll be back Saturday night with the 1950s show. Again, if you missed any of the programs, they're all available on the archive there. So you got to search for them. You can search for them by date if you missed them. But again, that's it, folks. We're going to close the show tonight, though, this afternoon, with the Cardinals. We heard the B-side to their debut single earlier. This great group from Baltimore, Maryland, back in the 1951 block. I featured "Please Don't Leave Me." This is their 11th of 12 on the Atlantic record label. A song written by, believe it or not, Neil Sedaka and his writing partner, Howie Greenfield. It features the great Ernie Warren on lead. He has such a great voice, I have to say. And this is such a great song to close out the afternoon. Our closer is from July 56, the Cardinals on the Atlantic label. It's called The End of the Story. That's going to do it, folks. Johnny G's got to get some lunch, and I'll see you next time, which will be Saturday night right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long, the Cardinals.
It's the end of the story, for I find you're no longer mine. You were mine once upon a time, but you found someone new. power and glory that you found in a new romance left my heart without half a chance to prove my love for you is true. Someday you'll awake and your heart will break, for you're bound to discover his love isn't true, and that is why you can't judge a book by its cover. Lover, now it's all over. There's no use for pretending now. There can't be a happy ending now. Not for me or for you. That's the end of my story.